It's yourself. Well, I get the whole, okay, good. Looking good on Instagram, good. And let me just check how Facebook is going. No, I haven't shown up on Facebook yet. Meditation's coming. Okay, nearly there. Nearly there. Okay, all good. Great. How are you? You well? You good? It's all right if you're not, but I hope you are. Time for a bit of meditation. This isn't a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. It's part of the further emergence work that I do, these daily meditations. I'll explain what further emergence is when we're finished the meditation. But for now, if you are familiar with meditation, that's brilliant. But maybe if you could hang on for a minute while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation. Because meditation is one of those things that people are embarrassed to admit that they don't know how to do. And I'm basing that on people just messaging me or saying to me quietly, what do you do? Like, I feel like I should just know how to do it. So there's lots of different styles of meditation. This is just what I do. For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I'm trying to connect with a part of me that I connect to every night when I sleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. So I'm dreaming and then I drop at the bottom into deep dreamless sleep where I have no thoughts, I've got no memory, I've got no body, I've got no country, I've got no stories, got nothing. Even I sort of cease to exist. Certainly in the way that I normally register my existence. So that sounds terrible, doesn't it? It sounds awful. It sounds like death. And yet I love going to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that that's a good place that I go to, that mysterious place. And that's where I want to go to when I meditate. I just want to do it consciously. So straight away, if you're new to meditation, don't try this lying down. If you try to meditate lying down, if you're just beginning, you'll fall asleep because your body will just go, well, I'm lying down, I have my eyes closed, so it must be time for sleep. So you'll either fall asleep or you'll battle sleep. Either is no fun and it's very far from what the intention is. So then the next thing is I need to figure out a way to get beyond my mind, to kind of part the curtains of my mind, to get into this place. So I just make an arrangement with my mind. I just say, hey, can you just not think for the next 15 minutes while we meditate? And my mind is relatively on board with the idea at this stage. I mean, 30 years of meditation, you'd think it would be. Used to be more resistance. Now it's pretty okay with it. So that's good. If your mind is resisting a lot to meditation, then you can feed your mind with stuff that it likes. Ideas, concepts, thoughts. Read some stuff about it so that it's like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, I get it. The main thing is to stop thinking. So stopping thinking is not that hard. It's hard to maintain, but it's not easy to actually stop because regardless of the content of my thoughts are made up of pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's it, I'm not thinking. And as soon as I do that, I'm into the practice of meditation. Now, the practice of meditation runs parallel with the intention of meditation. The intention is what I talked about earlier on. I want to go to this mysterious, beautiful, calm, still, Zen-like, all the words that you read about meditation. That place. The practice of meditation starts as soon as I stop thinking. So as soon as I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's the beginning of the practice. And then it kind of goes, a little bit of time will pass, I'll discover that I'm thinking. I'll go, oh, I'm thinking. So turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. A little bit more time will pass and I'll discover that I'm thinking again. I go, oh, turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, bring myself back to not thinking. A little bit more time will pass, I'll discover that I'm thinking again. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. And so on. The practice of meditation is repeatedly bringing myself back to not thinking. And I'm sort of alerting you to that because it's easy to get the misconception that to meditate properly, your mind must be like a lake and there mustn't be a ripple of thought across the lake. No. And again, that's when people say to me, no, I tried meditation. Oh, no, 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 not for me at all. I was thinking the whole time. I've just got a very busy mind. It's just not for me. Which is, again, comes from that misconception. No one's mind is any busier than anyone else's. When you begin to meditate, you realize how much thinking you're doing. So you just become more conscious of your thinking. And it can be a shock sometimes. And you can kind of go, God, I just want to stop thinking, but I just keep thinking. So the thing is that, sometimes you'll be in that still place, that still calm place, and then sometimes you'll be thinking. And both have their own power. It's very powerful to be in that deep, still, possibly eternal place. And then it's also very powerful when you discover that you're thinking. Because what happens in that instant, if we break it down a little bit, one instant you're thinking and you're like, what am I going to do about this thing? It means so much to me and it's very locked in with my personal beliefs about myself. And then suddenly you'll go, oh, that's right, I'm thinking and I'm meditating. So I'm going to turn off the pictures and turn off the sound. In that moment, what you're indirectly saying to yourself is, or you're demonstrating to yourself is, that thought that I was thinking just an instant ago that I was completely involved in, I thought it was me. I thought I was that thought. I was having that thought. It was about me. And I just made it disappear. So I am not that thought. In fact, I am not any of my thoughts. I'm something else. That's very powerful. And the fact that you do that repeatedly, that's very powerful. And then if you meditate throughout the day, a number of times throughout the day, that's very powerful. So both have their place. So if you feel like you're thinking a lot, that's fine. Don't add to your thinking by thinking that you're not very good at meditation or you're doing it wrong. Just every time that you just find your thinking, just bring yourself back to not thinking and you'll be doing great. Now, while all that's going on, I'm also becoming more conscious of my body and in particular tension in my body, and I'm letting it go. And I'm using my out breath to let it go. And I do that because it's natural to just, when I find tension to let it go. But also, it's a good way to remember to breathe, because even though meditation is about stillness, there can be a lot going on with the not thinking and, all that. So it can happen that you can hold your breath or forget to breathe. So using the out breath to let go of tension is a good way to just bring your awareness to your breathing. So it's too vague for me to just kind of go, I'm going to let go of tension in my body. I need a system. So I scan my body from my head to my feet, just very gently, slowly, back up again. And as I'm going up and down, I'm paying particular attention to structures that go transverse or across my body. Because mostly my body runs longitudinally, but anywhere that goes across acts a little bit like a log going across a stream. It picks up the twigs and the branches and the leaves and whatever's coming down the stream, except in my body, it's tension. So I'm paying particular attention to my eyes, my jaw, my tongue, the base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, my joints, they're all transverse as well. So my shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, that's quite a complicated transverse area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my toes. And as I say, anywhere I find tension, just let it go. Having a nice quiet room is very helpful when you're new to meditation, because as soon as you close your eyes, your hearing and your other senses will amplify. And one of the things that triggers thoughts is little noises in the distance. You'll be surprised how things that you're not even aware of now, suddenly you'll be able to hear. So yeah, the quieter the room, a room where you're not going to be disturbed, that's very helpful. Another thing I do to help my mind is I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. That's just to help my mind have no thoughts about how much time has passed. You can, if you don't believe me, you can try it. Try meditating without a timer for 15 minutes and then with, and it's much easier. I'm going to set mine for 15 minutes, but I'd encourage you to set yours for shorter if you're new to meditation. Set it for 5 minutes and repeat it 3 times, because 15 minutes is a long, and this kind of sounds crazy, but it's a long time if you're not used to it. Okay, now, any questions? Just let me have a quick look. No, just people saying hello. Okay, so let me get the timer organized. Okay, off we go into the mystery. right? If you feel like you've gone very deeply inside yourself and you feel like you need a little bit of time to come back from there before you open your eyes, then do that. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space at the same time, then just open your eyes. And if you're doing that and you feel like as soon as you open your eyes you lose the inner space, that's fine. You just close your eyes again, reconnect with it, and open your eyes again. And you can do that as many times as you need to, using your eyes to kind of equalize between being able to hold the inside and the outside. So as I said at the beginning, this is part of the further emergence work that I do, these meditations, these daily meditations, because meditation's got loads of benefits, but one of them is it helps you with your inner space, and further emergence is about inner growth. Our bodies stop growing when we become adults, but we continue to grow on the inside. And then just like your body may have gone through growth spurts when you're a kid or an adult or an adolescent, you can go through what feel like growth spurts on the inside, where you get periods of accelerated inner growth, and that can feel very disorienting or disturbing, and it can be quite a lonely feeling. And there's a lot of it going on at the moment, a lot more than there used to be. I've gone through it many times myself, and I've helped lots of people go through it as well. But just at the moment, there's a lot more of it going on, because at the moment, like prior to say all the lockdowns and pandemics and whatnot, going through further emergence was, everything outside was the same, but you just changed drastically on the inside, and people would report it like, oh, I woke up one day and just my life just looked so different. I just didn't recognize myself in my life. I couldn't, there was a big disconnect. Or, all the people that I know, they suddenly, the things that I'm interested in and I want to talk to them about, they don't get it and they think I'm a bit nutty. Or maybe people would have physical symptoms, the sort of physical symptoms that sort of feel like they're putting your life on pause. Not life-threatening or anything, but just debilitating, this kind of pausing kind of quality. Whereas now, externally, everything is sort of changing as well. So it's like internal change and external change, and they're kind of reflecting each other. So it's this general kind of speeding up going on. So I do these meditations, these daily meditations. I do a Zoom group every week. That's for people to kind of connect with other people. It's a bit more in-depth kind of meditation, questions and answers and that kind of thing. And it helps with that feeling of isolation, of like, oh, here's some other people who are going through a very similar process to me. They're on Fridays. Zoom links on the website. And then I work with people one-to-one as well. So that's just more in-depth, really. I work in front of the scenes with talking and reflecting, and then behind the scenes as well with kind of remote work. So yeah, if that sort of resonates with you, if like, oh yeah, that sounds like something I'm going through, or yeah, then you can sort of stay in touch through all the different channels, either the Further Emergence Instagram channel feed, or Facebook page, or YouTube, or you can go to the website as well, or you can just email me if you want to connect with me in that way. So thanks very much for meditating with me, and see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Bye.